Hello, it's Paige. So I just got back from my amazing 4th of July sort of weekend. Um, and it was such an interesting time because I was with my family, and most of the time I'm sort of by myself in the city. But because both of my IQ and my EQ are 25, so 25 line 6 is my IQ, and then 25 line 5 is my EQ. And um, and so as we're sort of moving into this next sphere, I'm just but I'm still completely in the trenches with this 20 25th gene key. Um, I'm so aware of it, and it's been fascinating to sort of see during this time when I'm around the people I love most, uh, how constriction to acceptance to universal love, how that lives in me, and I think especially how that really lived in me in the past, because I feel like like all of us when we go home again, when we're around family, I kind of regress, and and I'm 10 years old all over again, or 14, 17 years old all over again. So, um, and there was a lot of pleasantness that I experienced, sort of when I was like immersed within this sort of reflexive regression, and uh, and also a lot of frustration and constriction, um, uh, and reactivity. Especially as an adult, I've become much better about, and just through practice, through you know just kind of at responding instead of reacting. That's been, especially over the last year, it's been huge for me, kind of bringing my awareness to that. Um, and I could, it was almost like it was like in my body, like with certain, when certain things would come up, it was, I would have this like physical reaction, even if I was holding myself sort of in this place of of awareness, to where I wasn't out loud reacting, but I was like physically breaking into a sweat, and just because of all the different triggers that were happening, and 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 just kind of listening to that, and it was really fascinating. But the big thing I think for me is that I'm sort of taking away from this weekend away, um, uh, is as much as like it's been important, and it's important for me to constantly be um, by my loved ones. It's important for, like, it's important to me that I feel like I'm given, that they're giving me like they're rediscovering me all the time, because I work so hard on sort of my personal growth, that and I've changed so much. I just hope that they can rediscover me, because it's hard when I feel sort of held into, and um, only sort of seen from this young, or this perspective from a version of myself that I feel like I've kind of I've worked hard to grow out of. And um, and what I need to keep in mind is that I need to really make sure that I'm always doing the same for them, to where I'm even though I'm having physical reactions to my mother, or like my sister or my father, um, that is 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 sort of something, I'm reacting to sort of something that they're saying, based on a projected idea, that I have about what they're like, where what they're saying is coming from, or that it's a judgment on me, or and that even though that all of these reactions that I don't have any control over are happening in my body, that sort of just having that awareness and that openness to kind of let those reactions happen, but and so they all happen in my body, and I'm just sort of letting them happen, and then to kind of, after it's all laid out there for myself, wipe it clean, and then like look at what was said again with fresh eyes. I'm probably not making much sense, but with like fresh, but just to kind of wipe that clean, and then sort of that trigger phrase that I heard from a loved one. Listen to it again, and listen to it and try to like listen to it from a different angle. That's sort of been the exercise for me. And I find that that if I do that about this second time around, when I listen to it, I understand it differently, and it doesn't feel so oppressive or just heartbreaking or disheartening. Actually, most of the time when, I've noticed that the statements that I've taken is like, oh, I feel like I feel disheartened, or like, like you're raining on my parade, or are actually just really completely encouraging, but just encouraging in a very grounded, practical way. I think, probably maybe I'm sensitive to sort of, I don't really know. We'll see. But anyway, I'm just kind of excited because I just got back, and it was like the most fun I've had with my family in a long time. And not fun, but it was like the most peaceful fun that I've had with them in a long time. A lot of the time it's been very loaded and stressful and full of love, but also like almost ecstatic excitement, and it's been uncomfortable and all over the place and like unpredictable and emotional, just amped up, and I felt like this time around was just so healthy and really grounding, and liberating. I felt like it was a really liberating sort of few days away with my sweet loved ones. So, all right. Well, I love you all, and that was just a quick all over the place update. Bye. I'll see you soon.